has the potential to show up on the scene when you develop a conscience around the age of 5 or 6 years old. If you were a 2-year-old romping around in your living room and you tossed your daddy's brand new Rolex into the fireplace, you won't feel guilty. You'll undoubtedly feel upset when your daddy reprimands you to never, ever do something like that again, but you won't feel guilt because you've yet to develop the internal capacity to know right from wrong. You'll only feel badly because someone you love very much is angry with you. If a 7-year-old with a developing conscience flings daddy's watch into the fire while horsing around, you'll hopefully be aware that you've done something you shouldn't have. There are many physiological changes that your brain undergoes before it reaches maturity in your 20s. For a young child, possessing the psychological structures for what we call a conscience and the ability to feel guilt are major developmental milestones. Although today we have nursery and preschool for toddlers, there was a time when children were not allowed to enter school until they were 5 or 6 years old, precisely because the attainment of a conscience was a prerequisite for them to function appropriately and comparably in a group. It's no accident that formal schooling begins at the time that conscience is forming. The development of a conscience is both a biological and a social phenomenon. Your physiology builds mental and emotional structures in your brain that support a conscience, what some in psychology call a superego. Your parents and caretakers hopefully take advantage of this achievement and teach you right from wrong. They do this in 2 ways. They model behavior by returning a wallet someone has dropped, apologizing for hurting a person's feelings, and telling the truth when they've done something wrong. They also let you know what's right and wrong by how they react to you. They reward or give you positive reinforcement when you do something they believe to be right, and punish or provide negative reinforcement when you do something that they believe to be wrong. They show you how your conscience operates by modeling how theirs works and by giving you the guidance to get you up and running. When you receive reinforcement for telling the truth, being kind to others, taking responsibility for your mistakes, and apologizing when you do something wrong, your conscience is being primed in the hopes that it will work automatically as you grow and mature. Reinforcement works on 2 levels, the concrete and the emotional. Let's say as a young girl, you pinch your sister and she begins to cry. After explaining that pinching your sister is a hurtful and unacceptable behavior, your parents give you a timeout in your room. The punishment affects you in 2 ways. You feel unhappy and uncomfortable that you displeased your parents, whom you love, the emotional level, and you're not crazy about being banished to your room either, even for a short period of time, the concrete level. Your younger sibling wants to join in on a touch football game in the backyard. Your older brother and his friends don't want the kid to join. You stand up for the kid, and he plays surprisingly well. Your parents hear about what you did, and they offer to take you to the movies for such a gracious act. Notice how the reward works on 2 levels. You feel terrific that your parents are proud of you, emotional level, as well as getting to enjoy a movie, the concrete level. There are powerful reinforcers to help you learn right from wrong. Concrete rewards and punishments that elicit negative or positive emotions in you. When all goes well, your parents model moral behavior for you and reinforce it in you, and you receive a clear message of what is right and what is wrong in an age-appropriate way to help you develop your own moral values by encouraging you to grapple with ethical decisions and reflect on your behavior and choices.